Championships. We're through 2 rounds of competition as both the V4 Comps and the Lake Racers have run and crowned their champions. And for more in our next class, the Superstocks, here's ODBA Vice President and Superstock driver Paul Freeman.
Terrible concentration, you got to have it. Just to pilot these things down through there, it's unbelievable as far as what kind of concentration you got to have to get it off the line and get it down. You're not dealing with a lot of horsepower in Superstock. You're talking about a Mercury stock 260 horse motor. Buy it right off the shelf at your high-performance dealer, local town, anywhere USA.
Well, the Superstock class may very well be the most competitive class in terms of close finishes in the ODBA. 11 boats in the field here this afternoon. Superstock specs before you there. All the boats running Mercury 260 horsepower outboards, weighing a minimum of 1,400 pounds. A great matchup in this one as Steve Tillman and John Fulton take the green light, and they're off and running. And it looks like Steve Tillman in lane 1, top of your screen, is starting to pull on John Fulton, and his Superstock Allison's going to pull at the finish line as he's victorious. More round 1 action now. Charles Hoban in lane number 1. He's set to face off against Dorsey Freebot. He's in lane number 2. Hoban from Saraland, Alabama. Freebot from Altoona, Florida. And we've got a start as Hoban is out of the blocks first. He's running a Mirage Quartermaster with Mercury power, but Hoban just running away with this one as he's going to be victorious. So Freebot's handed the loss. Second round action now. William C.J. Davis, he's in lane number 1. Steve Tillman back out there. He's in lane 2, and a green light start once again on the race course. Davis from Galion, Alabama. Tillman from Semis, Alabama. Both boats flying down the straightaway now. Who's going to be quickest in the liquid quarter mile? And it looks like Davis. He got the better jump, and he's victorious at the finish line. More second round action now. Charles Hoban in lane number 1. Glenn Reynolds now set to face off. He's in lane number 2. Hoban running that Mirage Quartermaster. Reynolds in the Allison, and Hoban once again gets a great jump out of the box, and he's going to be the quickest in the liquid quarter mile. Reynolds making a good run at the end, but Charles Hoban once again victorious. Round 3 action now. Hoban marching his way through competition. He's set to face off against Alan Trantham, who's in lane 1. Trantham from Waynesville, North Carolina. And once again, a green light start. Hoban from Saraland, Florida. Both boats side by side here. And Hoban trying to make a late run at it. And he's going to overtake Trantham at the finish line. So Charles Hoban, a perfect 3 for 3. To the semifinal now. Charles Hoban, 3 straight wins. He's in lane number 1. C.J. Davis back in lane number 2. Boats coming to the line, and we've got a green light start once again on the course as both boats get a great start. Davis running the Allison. He's virtually side by side with Hoban now, but Charles Hoban, he's going to run away with it once again. So Hoban, he's going to be in the final. To the losers bracket now. Paul Freeman and Steve Tillman set to hook up, both with a loss, so one will be going home after this one. Freeman from McMinnville, Tennessee. Tillman from Sellers, Alabama. And the two are off and running. Freeman running the Triad DR21 Intimidator. Tillman the Allison 2001 Drag Edition. And Steve Tillman will advance on to the losers bracket final as Freeman is knocked out of action. Losers bracket final now. Here we go. Steve Tillman, lane 1. C.J. Davis in lane 2, both with a loss. Charles Hoban sitting behind, waiting for one of these two to face in the winners bracket final. Both coming to the line, and we've got a green light start. Both are on the gas in a hurry, and this one's tight. The experience of Tillman trying to hold off the rookie Davis, and Steve Tillman at the line aboard his Allison 2001 Drag Edition. With big Mercury power, he'll advance to the final. Well, following that run by Steve Tillman and C.J. Davis, we had an incident on the course that has brought race action to a temporary halt, so the Superstocks will be finished as Steve Tillman is crowned the world champion. Charles Hoban was second with Davis, Freeman, and Platt third, fourth, and fifth. And when we come back to the ODBA World Championships from Jasper, Tennessee, the Pro Gassers will be out on the water, so stay tuned for plenty more excitement from Jasper, Tennessee, right here on Speed Vision.
Updating some of this week's biggest stories, a volcano explosion in the city of Pompeii buries it under ash with no relief in sight.
Also this week, a group calling itself the International Red Cross is born.
It didn't all happen this year,
but it all happened this week in history. I'm
back to Jasper, Tennessee for the ODBA World Championships on a beautiful day here in the Smoky Mountain region. Well, the Pro Gas class is up next, so why don't we head back down to David Berry for more on the Pro Gas class.
Ian, the buzz in the pits this morning here in Jasper, Tennessee for the Pro Gas class is Dave Bush. Dave Bush is all the way from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. He runs a big 3-liter OMC V6. He's part of the OMC Racing Division Development Program for this type of racing. He uses 6 two-barrel Ferrari throttle bodies, 2 complete 6-cylinder MSD ignitions on this thing. It takes this kind of equipment to make the horsepower in order to win in Pro Gas here in Jasper, Tennessee.
Well, thanks, Dave. And there's a look at the specs for the Pro Gas class. Any production hull, no nitrous, just racing gasoline and oil, powered by a V6 with plenty of modifications allowed. And our first set of boats up, that's Philip Hollis and Dwayne Register. Hollis in lane 1 set to face off against Register, and they take the green light. Both coming in line for this start. It looks like a great start. Hollis to the outside, able to get that triad trimmed out, and Register forced to play catch-up, but it's going to be all Philip Hollis with that Mercury power behind him as he takes home the win. Jeff Kleinmark and Jeff Ingram set to face off against one another in this one. Kleinmark in lane number 1, Ingram in lane number 2. Ingram in the points hunt. In fact, he can capture a high points title in this one as they get a good jump off the start. You can see the blue Allison of Kleinmark. It leapt off the line, but now Ingram towards the finish, a little more top end, and he's going to be tough at the finish line as he takes the victory. To compete in the Outboard Drag Boat Association takes innovation and skill, so it's no small surprise when someone shows up with a new trick. And for more on what Pro Gas driver John Lenskow has created, here's the APBA Competition Offshore in the Cockpit, presented by Blue Marble Oil.
Well, what we've got here is a set of expansion chambers. This hasn't been approved for the rules yet for a Pro Gas class, but what we've done, we spent the last 3 years developing these pipes. And what it does, it enhances the exhaust rather than going down to the lower unit and this midsection housing here through a tuner. We're shooting out the back end. Well, what we've done is we've got an insert that goes in the block, and you have to capture that exhaust to bring it out. It goes from oval to round. It's very hard to do. It's one of those pieces that I had to make in my shop. It's probably the hardest piece I've machined out of a solid billet here of aluminum. And what it does, it captures that exhaust, takes it through a transition of chambers up to a diffuser and back down to a stinger, and it gives a pulse in there for this two-stroke motor that increases horsepower. This class was developed for the innovators such as myself to come in and to try to improve upon the performance of these motors. They run this type of exhaust system in some of the two-strokes and the Konings and in the circle boats in the smaller displacement motors, so we decided to try to capture the same thing on a V6. It's an innovators class. I hope to get this approved later on so we can compete against some of the other boat-on equipment out there. And it's a good project. It's kept me out of trouble at nights working on this.
Here's John Lenskow and Philip Hollis, two great competitors in there set to face off against one another. Lenskow in lane 1, Hollis in lane 2, both running triads with Mercury power. And once again, we've got a good start. And it's Lenskow, top of your screen, who takes the early lead in this one. So Philip Hollis forced to play a little bit of catch-up. And at the finish line, a photo-style finish. But it's going to be John Lenskow from Independence, Iowa, who wins it. And before the race, we caught up to Philip Hollis, and this is what he said about the competition in the Pro Gas class.
All them boys are tough. Ingram, Lenskow, Bush, all of them. That's the thing about this class. It's tight. You don't take anybody for granted.
Well, the competition is tight, as Philip Hollis said. A lot of close finishes. This one should be a great battle. John Lenskow, lane 1, Jeff Ingram, lane 2. And they take the green light, and they're off and running. A pair of triads here with Mercury power. Ingram from Southside, Alabama. Lenskow from Independence, Iowa. And these two neck and neck, and at the finish line, it's going to be a tie. So how about that? They'll rerun it. And we caught up with Jeff Ingram before the race, and he talked about the people who have supported him all season long as he tries to capture a Pro Gas championship.
Well, there's a lot more than them, but yeah, you owe a lot to them. But my prop man JC, he beat and hammered props for me, and these guys that help me get the boat in and out. My wife that stands beside me every race and stays down here on the bank for hours at a time with nothing to do, and it's just a good group effort.
Well, we've got a rerun from that great race between Lensgow and Ingram, and they're off and running, so this one should be a great heat. Ingram, you can see how trimmed out his Triad is, as opposed to Lensgow's boat. Top of your screen, and Ingram running away with this. You can see that Mercury hard at work as Jeff Ingram will advance on. So here it is, the Pro Gas Final, a World Championship on the line. Hollis in lane 1, Ingram lane number 2. Hollis with 1 loss, Ingram no losses, so Hollis needs to win a pair here, and they're both off and running. You can see the 2 DR21 Triads, Mercury power, but it's going to be Jeff Ingram, Southside Alabama, who's stronger at the finish line as he takes home the win. So here's the Pro Gas scorecard, the top 5 finishers, as Ingram took home the World Championship and ODBA High Points win, as well as an APBA National Championship.
Everybody, JC's Propellers, my wife, Boat Works, everybody combined. It's a great team effort, and it's just been a great effort.
And when we come back to the ODBA World Championships from Jasper, Tennessee, we'll have the modified production class on the water, so stay with us for plenty more right here on Speed Vision.
To be your best, to have the energy to work hard and play hard, getting great sleep is where it all begins. Introducing the Nautilus Sleep System. The secret is our patent-pending air chambers. Each chamber has 2 zones that interlock to support and evenly distribute your weight to minimize pressure points around your hips and shoulders. With the push of a button, your side of the bed can change from soft to firm and anywhere in between to give you instant comfort. This innovative design is only available on the Nautilus Sleep System. In fact, they're so comfortable and so durable, we back them with a 90-night 100% satisfaction guarantee and a 20-year limited warranty. You can own one with no money down and payments as low as $30 per month. Get great sleep every night and wake up each morning with the energy to handle anything that comes your way. For a free video and brochure, call or go online at greatsleep.com. Nautilus Sleep Systems, leading the way to great sleep.
Tomorrow night, road test the Mercedes C320. Then let the tires burn in the Plymouth Cuda. Plus, bid live online this week for cars like the 62 Corvette Roadster or the 69 Camaro. That's Motor Week at 7:30 Eastern. American Muscle Car at 8. And E-Classics presents at 8:30. Does the car make the man, or does the man make the car? Come on, the car really makes the man, don't you think? Speed Vision GT and Touring Car Championships return to Speed Vision on March 23rd. The cars are the stars on Speed Vision.
Welcome back to Jasper, Tennessee for the ODBA World Championships. As the shorelines here are packed, everybody's excited for the World Championships as we get set for our next class. And once again, why don't we head down to David Berry, who's standing by.
Ian, one of the drivers